Hi everyone, I would like to introduce our CLN for Business Research Design. Firstly, myself, Danielle, Luke, Ravi, Samantha, Gregory and Antonia. We are a very diverse group and actually a few of our members are based overseas. Some of our team's interests consist of innovation, entrepreneurship, regional services and animal welfare. And our team's skills include, but are not limited to, accounting, economics, data analysis and project development. The main focus for our presentation will be how to encourage business graduates to become low volume, high quality, sustainable food producers for export markets. I'll now move to our next slide and I'd like to introduce Exceed Seed, our innovative approach to Australia's hemp seed market. Our goal is to deliver high quality, sustainable hemp seeds and agricultural support for the entrepreneurial export market. I'll now pass on to Luke to discuss our approach.
Through a process that focused on design thinking, we were able to look at the wicked problem from a number of different angles. From our own experiences and knowledge gathered during the discovery stage, we were able to develop a number of key insights and implications. These insights and implications demonstrated clearly what the target market really thinks and feels. Specifically, graduates are generally not interested in living in regional areas. They want to make a difference in the world, they are tech savvy, they are interested in low startup costs, they have a concern for the environment, their interests include healthy eating and living. This discovery also demonstrated the frustrations and obstacles new graduates face, like high startup costs and the lack of jobs in regional areas. Given some of these key insights, the development of empathy maps, we were able to better match the value proposition to solving the real problem. In doing so, we were able to reframe the question to be, how do we make the entry into and success in food export markets achievable for new graduates looking to produce low volume, high quality products?
As a group, we work to research across a diverse number of resources in an effort to gain an understanding of the pressures and pain points which are affecting the agricultural industry. These resources included newspapers, articles, journal articles and government reports which provided interesting information and case studies to further flesh out our understanding of the wicked problem. This initial discovery phase led to some key themes and findings. The common themes and findings from our research highlighted that agriculture is becoming a more and more difficult industry with graduates reluctant to pursue a career on the farm. Compounding this issue, shorter fallow periods and variable and unpredictable weather patterns are making it harder for the farming industry to generate the margins required to successfully run agricultural business on expensive and scarce fertile land. Based on this research, we set out to develop our first cut business model canvas, aiming to ensure that we were able to harness and deliver value to our customers. We learned that this problem was complex, and we decided to break into small teams to ensure divergent thinking with a roof-off mentality. We generated several ideas which all had merit, however reached consensus on which direction our business should take in order to address the wicked problem.
So what attracted us to the idea of hemp was the versatility, potential for profitability and relatively resistant characteristics of the hemp plant as an agricultural product. And we really believe it's an untapped potential to encourage young business graduates into a low volume, high quality, sustainable food production, predominantly for the export market. So, on that line, we propose a business of selling hemp seeds and agricultural support to willing growers and farmers. As hemp is such a versatile and sustainable product, with byproducts including plastic, biofuel, food products, and health products, we believe that there's a lot of opportunity for growth within the hemp market. The proposed business would focus on establishing a community of co-creation and innovation for hemp agriculture and hemp byproducts.
During our research, we came across an interesting concept known as the triple-layered business model canvas. This concept extends the original business model canvas by adding two layers, an environmental layer and a social layer. We evaluated our idea using the TLBMC, as the three layers of the business model make more explicit how an organization generates multiple types of value in economic, environmental, and social aspects. I'll be covering them individually in the next couple of slides. Much in the same way, the original business model canvas is used to understand how revenues outweigh costs. The main objective of the environmental layer is to appraise how the organization generates more environmental benefits than environmental impacts. It is clearly evident from the results presented here that this holds true. The focal output of service or product by the organization, in other words, the core functional value of this idea is to provide farmers with advice on and access to sustainable hemp farming. A key point of using the social layer is to extend the original business model canvas through a stakeholder approach to both capture the mutual influences between stakeholders and the organization. Also, this layer seeks to capture the key points of social impacts of the organization that derive from those relationships. Doing so provides a better understanding of where an organization's primary social impacts are and provides insight for exploring ways to innovate the organization's actions and business model to improve its social value creation potential. As seen on the BMC presented here, two of the main social values we seek to promote is developing long-term mutually beneficial relationship with hemp farmers and to create products that promote the health and well-being of the end users. Both the environmental and social layers help us understand the background of our research question at a deeper level. I have covered the development of the environmental and social BMCs, and now Sam will be presenting how the idea was developed.
Our team went through a process of idea generation where we shared our individual research findings and built on each other's ideas through a process of yes and. This allowed us to combine some of the key components of our individual ideas into a very comprehensive BMC. We then reflected back on our customer insight process, the implications we identified, and the key factors we determined as being important to young business graduates, which were, they're not keen on living regionally, they want to make a difference in the world, they are tech savvy, and as such a business which utilises technology would be suitable. They don't necessarily have a lot of financial backing, therefore low startup costs are essential, and they are environmentally conscious. We use those parameters to then synthesise our ideas into a BMC we think is highly viable. The diversity of our team truly allowed us to gather a range of insights into our wicked problem. This was reflected in the direction of our research and the relevant concerns which were raised. We imagined innovations through a process of visual prototyping, including ability to farm the product in remote locations through hydroponic farming, utilisation of natural energy, utilisation of desalinated water, potential for urban farming such as on rooftops in order to produce smaller crop yields for individual profit, and value-add technology, particularly if we owned our own processing plants.
In summary, our idea is to deliver a company that is able to establish a co-creation community of farmers. We will provide the farmers or growers with the seeds and guidance on growing the hemp through shared farming. We will provide training, technology and support to deliver the best quality products possible. Continuous improvement and quality management will be a key part of our offering, working with the growers to produce high quality harvests. Then using our strategic marketing and sales mix, we will distribute the hemp products throughout the world. Partners will include primarily hemp growers that we partner with. Key activities will be marketing hemp products internationally, as well as assisting growers in delivering high-tech solutions to hemp growing. Key resources will be the relationships we foster with the landowners to allow for a collaborative approach to hemp production. Our infrastructure and technology will also be a key resource. Value proposition relies on hemp's versatility as a crop. These attributes combined with our high-tech approach means that we can provide our partners with a profitable, sustainable product. Customer relationships will focus on the end-to-end control of the product, ensuring the highest standards are met when delivering a range of products. The channels we use will include third-party vendors who we produce products for, as well as direct sales to wholesale groups. Customer segments that we will focus on will be the beauty, building material, and innovative biofuel segments. Our cost structure will rely on a value-driven principle with a collaborative franchise model. Revenue streams include the sale of hemp products at a wholesale level and the sale of seeds and technology to our co-producers.
Throughout our processes, we've made some assumptions that we really want to make clear at this point. So the first assumption was that we assumed that the greater community is looking to find a more sustainable raw good, and we believe that hemp can really fill this gap. Secondly, we believe that throughout the community there is a growing market for hemp products, and there isn't really a negative connotation to hemp that's linked to marijuana. We also assumed that the government is willing to financially back, or through regulations and policies, sustainable products like the hemp product we are proposing here. We've also assumed that there are viable markets for hemp goods and that this product and hemp products will sell really well. Furthermore, we've assumed that we are able to source high-quality, sustainable seeds at a reasonable price, and this needs to be ongoing throughout our business life cycle. Another assumption is that we assumed that landowners are willing to grow hemp on their land as a crop, and that this product isn't going to negatively affect them or their land. We also assume that there is significant skilled labour existing within the economy to facilitate Exceed Seed's business model. We've assumed that business graduates want to enter the agricultural industry and that we're not flogging a dead horse here. Also, we assumed that these business graduates have access to money to be able to invest in the initial costs of the business. Also, we've assumed that the cost of creating hemp byproducts isn't extravagantly high and it's achievable for many young business graduates. Also, we've assumed that resources are able to move between areas, so we've assumed resource mobility, which of course may not be the case in the real world. Our final assumption that we've made, specifically related to the export market, is that we're not going to have any foreign exchange complications such as tariffs or taxes. Most likely there will be some kind of issue here, but we're going to, for simplicity's sake, assume that there aren't any that will affect our exchange or our export.
Our research question is derived from our assumptions that really looked at the guiding principles of our idea. In looking at what the value the company would be, there were a number of avenues for research into the model. We decided to focus on the underlying market as a key question to ask because after all, there is no point being a premium producer of a product that has no demand. After establishing our research question, we undertook another literature review specifically looking at hemp production. And in doing so, we found a number of interesting cases where car manufacturers are looking at hemp as a good alternative to lower their weight of their products. Hemp can be used in feedstock and biofuel, and exports of hemp are actually rising, and they've risen by 300% and driven by demand in Europe, Australia and South America. We also looked at another article where China is heavily focused on producing and exporting hemp.
In order to formulate a research plan that can appropriately address our research question, we need to consider the type of research to be undertaken. Our first step was to determine our team's view of the world, our ontology. It was agreed when considering the complexity of the wicked problem and our resulting research question that the constructivist school of thought aligned best with our goal of gaining greater insight into the question through observation, interaction and first-person investigation. Our ontology, or view of reality, then informs our epistemology, our justified belief systems or perceived relationship with knowledge. When considering if we are part of knowledge or external to it, our team agreed we develop truth based on social interaction, and an interpretive approach to our research design was most appropriate. Moving to our proposed methodology and methods, a research plan that is primarily qualitative in its approach was decided as the most sound. Our goal is to gain an insight or understanding to a social phenomenon that can't be answered through statistical analysis. Rather, we are attempting to better understand a social or human issue, and as such, we need to collect narrative data to attempt to understand the behaviours and attitudes of our research sample through words, observations, and events. Why and how do they think and feel the way that they do? A strong research plan would then consider the results of such research against existing scholarly research and theory. In moving to developing our research plan for our final assignment, the next steps will be to work as a team to identify our population and sample, possible variables, what measures we will use, and what data collection methods are most appropriate. Then we will outline our results. And for this assignment, obviously it will be our anticipated results. And then we will discuss any recommendations that we may have. The members of Exceed Seed will continue to use our collective background, experience and skills to develop these components of the research plan that we hope will go some way toward addressing our original wicked problem. Thank you.